What is going on? What is happening? What just happened? The White Sox signed Munetaka Murakami. Let's talk about it here on the CHGO White Sox podcast. Podcast, an emergency podcast on a Sunday after the Bears beat the Packers on a midway miracle. Stephen Nicholas got maybe 4 hours of sleep. He went to bed at 5 a.m. He's here producing this emergency podcast. I'm your host, Sean Anderson, coming to you live from my bed, as everyone does. They have Ozzie Guillen's crotch right above them as they sleep. It's a real way to tuck yourself in. Welcome into the CHGO White Sox podcast. I'm coming to you live from my bed because this is so important. I woke up to the news, probably like you all did. Maybe you were awake already because you're adults and it was like 9:30 when this got announced. But Munetaka Murakami is now a Chicago White Sox. Jeff Passan reports that the 2-year, $34 million deal has been signed. Munetaka Murakami is now a Chicago White Sox, and this is completely surprising. I talked about Murakami and his free agency when he was first posted, I believe back in November or late October, and I said, let's go. I want this guy. Like, if anything, I want Munetaka Murakami, and I immediately went off of it because it seemed like other teams would be interested. It seemed like other teams would make it too hard for the Chicago White Sox to financially make an interesting offer. The last time the White Sox made a splash in the Japanese, Korean, one of the Asian markets was Shingo Takatsu in 2003, 2004, and then obviously Tadahito Oguchi in 2005. They've been silent in that market for 20 years. So when Munetaka Murakami hits the market, a guy that in 2022 in the NPB won the Triple Crown, like the Ted Williams, Carl Yastrzemski, I don't even know if Ted Williams won it, Miguel Cabrera Triple Crown, right? He won the NPB and the Triple Crown in 2022. He was the Rookie of the Year for the NPB in 2019. And then along with that, he was a several-time All-Star. He represented Japan in the World Baseball Classic. In the semifinal, they were down 5-4 to Mexico on the bottom of the ninth. Murakami came up with runners on first and second. He blasted a double into center field to give Japan the win, and then that obviously led up to the Shohei Ohtani versus Mike Trout battle that we saw in the final. But Murakami is a massive signing for the Chicago White Sox. He's 25 years old. I know some people are a little bit concerned about the years. 2-year, $34 million. At the end of the day, if you're a Chicago White Sox fan, you have something to be excited about. I don't care if this kid's good. I don't care how much money they gave him. I don't care if he goes out and strikes out 300 times. Not even like be an Adam Dunn. Go out and set the record and make us proud. I do not care because you just signed the Babe Ruth of Higo. That was his nickname in high school. You also just signed Murakami Sama, which means Murakami God, pretty much. It was given to him by his feats, due to his feats at the plate by Japanese fans, meaning Kami-sama or Murakami God. And it's just exciting that we have something to be excited about. I don't know if this kid's going to be a good Major League Baseball player or not. I'm excited to see what happens. The White Sox needed a first baseman, and outside of Pete Alonso, this was the most interesting first baseman on the market, and the White Sox got him. They haven't made a splash in this market for over 20 years. This is a big deal. He could suck. If you have thoughts or worries or concerns that he's going to suck, that's absolutely fine with me. And there's numbers that I'm going to get into about his contact rate, zone rate, swing and miss, how hard he hits the ball. But what truly matters is the White Sox are serious about being a Major League Baseball organization. And I know that is such a low bar to clear, but they have not cleared that in such a long time. They were ignoring a complete massive market of baseball players. They haven't signed a player in this market for 20 years. You look at what they've been doing in the islands. They obviously dominated Cuba with Luis Robert Jr., Yohan Moncada, et cetera, Jose Abreu. But they were ignoring every other island. Chris Getz has come in. The addition of David Keller, the director of amateur scouting, they have not only, obviously, not ignored Japan, but they're building out a Dominican facility. They're embracing all of the islands. They are becoming a real baseball organization. And the more that I doubt them, the more that they prove, hey, we're actually a real baseball organization. I'm just truly shocked. I did not think that this would happen. I 100% thought that he was going to go to a real team that has signed a Japanese player before, that has some hope of competing. But Murakami and the White Sox are seemingly taking a gamble on Murakami. At least that's what baseball's telling you with this 2-year, $34 million deal. And I'm excited. Let's see if the gamble pays off. If not, we'll be excited for this kid because we don't have much else to be excited for. And it was either this or Lenyn Sosa. Crewman Monster 75 says, does this mean that if Lenyn Sosa or infielder Lenyn Sosa is almost guaranteed to be traded, go White Sox, he might just be DFA'd. Who knows? Who cares? They got Munetaka Murakami. I don't think it's Munetaka. It's spelled Taka, so I'm apologizing about that. But this is absolutely, maybe it's what Rogue Wave is saying. Is this a dress rehearsal? Do you not think this is a smidge suspect that no one else would want to sign him? Just curious. Not really. Like it's not suspect because players in the NPB have produced or have come over and produced at this level. And he has phenomenal stats. I mean, he hit 56 homers in 2022. I mean, he was being compared to Barry Bonds in 2022. So if it doesn't turn out, oh, well, maybe the White Sox are a fool and everyone else in baseball was smart. But I do think that there's the fact that Murakami just signed for 234 does tell you that baseball's a little bit off of him. But he is young. He's not as young as Shohei Ohtani when he signed, but he is younger than when Seiya Suzuki signed. It's definitely a little bit suspect, and there are true concerns about his profile. But you know what? I'm just feel like I'm at the craps table. Never played craps, but the feeling of, oh, I'm on a roll and I just got to keep going. Like I'm not going to start doubting this guy. It was either this or they signed Josh Bell, who's 32 years old, can barely put up 0.4 and play first base, right? I'm glad they didn't listen to me. I'm glad they went out and spent $11 more million than signing Josh Bell or whatever it was. This does seem like a gamble. It seems like an investment, but I am surprised that the White Sox are even making this investment. It's surprising that the Sox are even here. I was kind of laughing at the fact that they might have a seat at the table, and not only do they have a seat at the table, they bought the seat, they bought the table, and they said, hey, Murakami, we'll bring you over to Japan. It's just a fun day. I don't know what his first at-bats are going to look like, but go look back to, Chicago memories and Kosuke Fukudome in 2008 hitting a home run on opening day. Like, Cubs fans genuinely love Kosuke Fukudome, and I don't think he had another moment outside of that. Also, Kosuke Fukudome, former White Sox legend. But it's a time to be excited. If you've felt a ton of animosity towards Jerry Reinsdorf, towards this front office, whatever it may be, all fair, not saying you shouldn't, this should give you genuine excitement. I don't know if he's going to be good. He's 25. He's got all the potential in the damn world. He was supposed to get $100 million. For some reason, they got 34. Maybe he doesn't pan out. Maybe he's gone in 2 years. Oh, well, $34 million isn't that much money. That's less than you're giving Andrew Benintendi. It's the same amount, I think, on a AAV level at $17 million. But I am over the moon about Murakami. Murakami signs for $34 million for 2 years. Some people, I think it was Jared specifically in our Discord chat, saying, is there concern that, in 2 years when we finally start as a team, start to hit our stride, that we would lose our possible first baseman if he pans out? We just talked about this recently. Chris Getz doesn't really feel like there's a core to this team. They're chasing excellence. Right now, Murakami gives them a piece to help the future. If Murakami is very, very good, has a great 2026, it is very possible that the White Sox trade him because he is a young, powerful first baseman on a somewhat cheap deal. It's just smart GMing. It's smart baseball. You picked up an asset on a fairly affordable contract, especially in today's major league. They signed Murakami to a $17 million deal. they're only at a $78 million payroll. The projection was 85. So, I mean, they still have like $7 million to go out and sign people. And I think about 6 roster spots. So it's mostly about, let's see what this guy can do. You don't have to think, hey, what can Tim Elko, 28-year-old, 7-year senior with 2 repaired ACLs, can he come up and finally have a great year? Murakami is on a completely different level. I don't think they're going to be signing Tatsuya Imai, as Yankees of the People says in the chat. But it's a smart move to sign Murakami, and I am glad that this happened for White Sox fans, and I'm glad that this happened for the White Sox. It just makes them look serious, and I was kind of sick of not looking serious and rooting for just fools of a baseball organization. But Murakami seems like a really smart signing. Let's get into some of his contact issues and some of his batted ball data. This is all from Lance Brzdowski. He does a fantastic job over at Marquee Network. Also has a fantastic YouTube channel, so go check out Lance if you haven't already. But with Murakami's batted ball data, his average exit velocity, 96.6 miles per hour. A hard hit baseball in Major League Baseball, 95 miles per hour. So he has above a hard hit average exit velocity. Major League average is 89.3, so he's well above the Major League average for average exit velocity. His 90th percentile exit velocity is 108.5. Major League average is 105.8. That means when you look at just his 90th percentile to his hardest hit ball, what's the average of that exit velocity? It's 108.5. 3 miles per hour bigger than the Major League average. Max exit velocity, 113.5. The average max exit velocity is 111.3. I believe he hit one ball that was, I guess that's rounded up to 114. But yeah, a 114 exit velocity. Colson, I think, got up to 117 this year. But if he hit a ball 114, that would easily be hardest ball hit by a White Sox, if not Colson Montgomery last year. And then hard hit launch, 18 degrees. Major League average is 13 degrees. And that kind of just shows you, again, what he's searching for. He is a player in a contact-driven league in the MPB searching for power. So he does have a very steep approach. He does have a very steep swing approach. But again, that is mainly because I think, at least in the MPB, he feels like he can do just a ton of damage by swinging for the fences. I don't know if that's going to change or not. Murakami, I think, has tailored his game to the NPB and the Nippon Baseball League. I do wonder if he tries to flatten out a swing a little bit, because obviously the power is there. What the issue is the contact issues. Contact rate, 63% for Murakami over with the Yakult Swallows. Major League average, 75%. So that's about a 12% difference. That's not good. Zone contact, 73%. Major League average, 83%. I'm not so freaked out by that number too much, because, again, if he is swinging just very fast all the time at a steep angle, he is going to have more swing and miss than normal. His swing and miss is 37%. The Major League average is 25%. So that's 12% higher. But also, he is in a league that doesn't really want you to chase and miss. The Japan League is about making contact, kind of like what we saw in the 80s and 90s of baseball. Murakami is the complete flip of that, right? He is swinging for the fences every single time, trying to hit the ball as hard as he can every single time. The other thing that Lance notes was his breaking ball swing and miss, 49% compared to the Major League average of 33%. But I do wonder if there's like that large of an average on breaking balls, and there's only a 12% difference on his swing and miss in general. Like, does he swing and miss that much against fastballs? So I do think that Murakami has 30 homer power. There really wasn't like a surefire guarantee of 30 homer power on the free agent market. So this is a fantastic just baseball signing. If Murakami was with the Orioles last year and he was 25 years old and just had tantalizing power, you don't even have to have like the stats, but just you saw those, StatCast numbers, you'd be like, hell yeah, let's sign him. And they signed him. So hell yeah, let's go. So start getting used to Murakami-sama, which means Murakami God, for how hard he's going to hit these baseballs. Get excited for a player that has a ton of potential. I am intrigued by that 2022 year where he had a 318 average. And his years from his 20-year-old season, 307 average, 278 average, 318 average, 256 average, 244 average. And then this year, in only 69 games, 286 average. So I do wonder if he is able to maybe rein back that power swing a little bit and search a little bit for contact a little bit more. especially with him having some clips above 300 batting average. So I'm just very excited. This is a well-boosted jolt to the Chicago White Sox. Merry Christmas. I think there's one more day of Hanukkah left. Shalom, Mazel, right? This is a perfect gift for the holidays. Boxing Day, Kwanzaa, whatever you celebrate. Munetaka Murakami is going to be under your tree, by your menorah, and a perfect final day. And I don't even know if, I think we have Peyton Lowry in the chat saying Fuller will fix him. I don't know if he's broken. Like, that's what I'm really excited about, was like, let's see what happens. A lot of this is, taking numbers from college football and putting them into pro football. It's not linear. It's not exactly the same. So what will this adjustment be? How will Major League Baseball adjust to him? How will he adjust to Major League Baseball? Very exciting stuff. All right, I got to do this before Stephen Nicholas kills me. This man got 4 hours of sleep because of the Midway Miracle, because the Bears are the #1 team in the NFC North. One more win and they're in the playoffs. We have a merch sale going on, 20% off our entire merch sale. Go to store.allcity.com if you do want to go check out our fantastic merch, store.allcity.com. Store.allcity.
There it is.
I worked here for like 3 years. Yeah, don't worry. Store.allcitynetwork.com. We have a brand new shirt out for the Midway Miracle as well. We have some good, better, best merch as well. We have some wonderful hats that have come in, some brand new hats. All of the stuff is 20% off at store.allcity.com if you're looking to represent some Bear stuff. We do have some White Sox stuff. Go ahead. Why are you shaking your head? Can I not say the team's name? I see you back there.
Network.com. You said it wrong again. We'll get it.
Store.allcitynetwork.com. Yeah, look at the bottom left if you're watching on YouTube. Just type in that. You could also just go into the description. Yeah, go to the description, click the link. All right, Steven wants to go to bed. Steven probably wants to go have breakfast. If you have any thoughts, come join us in our Discord. You can also sign up for, I think, $36 right now if you use code JOHNS or GOAT, or one of those if you do want to go sign up at allchgo.com/diehard. Go sign up using one of those codes if you want to come join us in the Discord. I'll be on Twitter also to just chat. I'm extremely excited about this. The White Sox needed a first baseman. They got a first baseman. And there's a ton more of exciting parts about this story outside of just the nuts and bolts of they have a starting baseman for 2026. I'm excited to see what this does for the Japan contingency. We have O'Hare, so he should be able to fly back and forth to Japan fairly easily. They should be able to bring Japanese fans over very easily. It should be a huge boon to the Chicago White Sox. I'm excited for Munetaka Murakami. You should be excited for Munetaka Murakami. They're not moving Sosa back to second base. Chase Mydraw's playing there. Stop talking about Lenyn Sosa on a Munetaka Murakami emergency podcast, okay? We're going to wrap it up. We have a show on Monday and Tuesday. I think Kyle Williams wants to join me in studio for one of those shows, so we'll have a guest for one of them, and I'm trying to book another one for the other. So make sure you're following us here on CHGO. Follow us at CHGO_White Sox. Subscribe to the CHGO Sports YouTube channel. Go to store.allcitynetwork.com for the 20% off merch sale. And make sure you're subscribing. We're getting close to 100,000 subscribers. Stephen Nicholas and the Bears crew put out a ton of effort into yesterday's win. So if you haven't jumped on the ride yet, if it's not the Bears win, if it's not Munetaka Murakami, do it for Stephen Nicholas. Subscribe today. We'll see you on Monday. Goodbye.
We all silly like the mayor.